Alright, this video we're going to look at the Tier 8 Ferdinand. It's a tank destroyer, very large. This was actually fully upgraded. A little about the Ferdinand. It was developed as a heavy tank destroyer. Well, one interesting fact, when they built this thing, they did not put a machine gun on it. And they used, I think it first saw action in the Battle of Kursk against the Soviets. And it didn't take the Soviet troops long to figure out this thing did not have a machine gun on it. So they would just climb all over it and basically pour gas in and burn the crews. Run up, slap explosives on the side of it. They lost the majority of these things at the Battle of Kursk, if I'm not mistaken. This is, like I said, the fully upgraded version. You can see here. It's got the 128mm Pak 44 gun. Starts off with the 88, but the engine and the tracks and everything on the stock model, that man, this thing is horrible. Very slow, very slow to turn around. The 88 is a good gun, but when you get up Tier 8, facing Tier 9s and some 10s, the 88 it just doesn't cut it anymore for penetration. So it's a painful grind, but once you get this gun, you can hold your own as long as you keep enemies from getting, behind you, flanking your sides. You don't want to get separated from the rest of your team, which is hard in most matches where everybody just scatters, every man for himself. But if you can have some support set up near the base, that's what I'll usually do with this thing. I'll set up fairly close to the base because normally you'll have your artillery hang out back there, and sometimes you'll have one or two others that are willing to stick close by to protect the artillery, and they can kind of watch your back. Look at the model of this thing. You can actually see the detail in the welds on the side. See the thickness of the frontal armor on this thing. It's slightly sloped, not really enough to deflect shots, but it's extremely thick. And down here on the lower front, if you see where the barrel lock is behind that wooden box, that's very thick down there. Sides, rear, not too impressive. Look at some specs. Engine location about the middle of the lower hull, and a couple of areas you can hit toward the front on the sides. 128mm Pak 44, 12-second reload time. Very expensive ammunition. You're looking at, I think it's about 1,100 silver per shot for the AP. Your HE rounds on here, they're a little cheaper. I think they're 900 and some change. They don't do a whole lot of damage against targets, but if you can hit light tanks and stuff with them, it's the same thing as taking a direct hit with artillery. You're a very large caliber, so it can be effective to an extent. Radio location, front right of the lower hull. Ammo, lots of ammo stored in this thing. So if you can hit it almost anywhere in the lower half of the, we'll just call this thing the citadel or whatever it is, casemate, you're going to get some ammunition damage if you can punch through the side armor. 6-man crew. Armor. Now this thing has definitely got some armor. You can see there's some weak points in the lower plates, but these front plates, you've got to really have a nice gun to shoot through that. You get people shoot premium rounds, they can punch through it. So if you see the red tracers flying around, that's premium rounds, and they'll punch right through that. Side armor, not too impressive. The same thing with the rear. Artillery is a problem with this also because as a tank destroyer you're stationary a lot to make accurate shots, and artillery will have a bead on you as soon as you're spotted. So especially if they have 2 or 3 artillery pieces on the opposing team, as soon as you get the notification you're spotted, you better start moving, because if you get tracked, artillery will finish you off. Alright, we'll go run a test around with this. And because the ammo is so expensive and we're on the proving grounds, I'll try to keep my shots to a minimum here. Just enough to show the tank, but I'll let my team do as much of the work as I can. And this is the precursor to the non-premium Jagdtiger, which I have the premium Jagdtiger 88. I'll do that in another video. Alright, I'm switching over to an HE shell. They're a little cheaper. Let's see what we can do.
Optics are up. That's another kill for our team. I see one of them. That one left a big hole.
519 damage, 1 shot of AP.
Load it up. Let it rip.
He didn't have much health. Save a shot, we'll just finish him off. Oh, teammate got him finally. I didn't think he was going to bother with him anymore. Yeah, a lot of these things, they were just abandoned by the crews because they were so slow.
Look out, enemy spotted. That's gotta hurt. Reloaded. Our team destroyed an enemy.
So if I can hit the side of this turret with an HE, it may
No good. Didn't go through.
281 damage. I was hoping a teammate would finish the guy off. Saved me a little silver.
Reloading.
But I got enough premiums. Silver's not hard to come by.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Loaded and ready.
So hit multiple times. His shots were just bouncing. anywhere around that gun mount, it's going to be hard to cause damage. He'd have to hit the barrel itself. Show him what a real gun can do.
Our team just wasted an enemy.
It's expensive, but it does a very good job.
Gun loaded. We're taking the enemy base. Enemy exposed. Scratch another bad guy.
That was a one shot with an HE round.
Reloaded.
Comes a medium, a tier 8 medium. Let's see what we can do to him with HE.
That one did some damage.
You're not gonna get the same damage as you will with AP, like I said, but
We lost a friendly vehicle. We got him.
it's the same thing as being hit by large caliber artillery.
Capturing the enemy base.
Alright, we took some damage here in the side plate.
Load it up. Let it rip. That's another kill for our team.
Now, if this was an online match, I'd probably be dead. These AI opponents here, they'll just kind of come and hang out in the same spot. But getting swarmed like that, that's how you get killed with these. This and the Ag Tiger.
Scratch another bad guy. Best job I ever had.
See what the damage is. Well, it costs some silver, but you can look at the damage output versus blocked. It's fun once you get it maxed out to fully upgraded, but when you first get it, it's a pain.